Right. Well, I think uh, with a game of this size, the only thing to do is just launch straight into it, start pulling levers, see what happens. So the French, with the first activation, um, I chose to activate this cavalry 4th Division here under Saint Joseph, um, and I was a bit worried with the French with this sort of gap on their left flank here, which you can see the Russians have a certain number of divisions here that could expose that flank. Um, and I was worried about, Russian sort of pushing through. So what I've done is I have moved the French cavalry up from their starting position, which was around here, and I've just pushed them forward. Now the move order means that they can move, but they cannot move adjacent to an enemy unit, so they're not going to be able to charge the Russian units. Charge is one way of pushing the enemy back. So really, it's more a case of them plugging a gap rather than doing anything particularly aggressive at this early stage. I think I might be a little bit overcautious with my early play, um, but that's all part of the learning process. I don't know that I'm going to activate them again. You can activate each division 3 times in a turn. Um, Worth saying that a series of activation cubes or a quantity of activation cubes are put into a bag or a cup in my instance and drawn randomly. And the Russians is a common mixture of kind of a random dice roll and also a predetermined number of cubes. The Russians have ended up with 11 activation cubes and the French 10. So the Russians will get to act one more time. But they have more divisions on the map. So it's, they're going to have to choose whether to, and in fact, both sides, and I think that's part of the game is, do you focus on 1 or 2 divisions in a turn and the others stand around, as historically happened? I think there was a lot of standing around waiting while the action was taking place on another part of the battlefield. But that's going to be part of the fascinating thing to see as this playthrough continues.